Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Garden of Sports.
How's it going, everyone?
We have a special show planned for you guys today. We're actually going to start off with the first episode of our hockey fantasy season. We're going to do a mock draft live on the air here.
Yeah, no, this is going to be exciting. We have not done one of these yet. For the fans, we weren't able to do it for football, but we're going to do it for hockey and basketball and other sports going forward.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if they're going to take Connor McDavid first overall here.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt, just based on your rankings in the attached PDF.
Yep.
So before you guys listen to this, you could download the PDF and look at it as we're going, and also use that PDF for your mock draft.
I put together the top 10 at each position. So my top 10, a center, left wing, right wing, defenseman, and goalies. So you can definitely take a look at that before you start your drafting.
Here's a question I have. Will Kucherov be a top 5 pick, even with the injury history?
I believe he will, yeah.
I saw people were talking like they're a little worried. And
Oh, after the postseason that he had, I really wouldn't be worried at all. But here we are, 10 seconds from starting this.
yeah, well, then we'll go into the room, and then it would be another couple minutes.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's fine. All right, enter draft.
So I'm picking at pick 6, and Jake is picking at pick 12. We're doing a 12 team head-to-head points mock draft. So
Maybe in this, you want to give them a rundown of like our scoring compared to normal point scoring?
So in the league that Jake and I are in, well, in my league, I made defensemen a little more valuable. So like I added 1 defenseman point. So each time a defenseman scores a point, they get an extra point. And in doing that, that made rostering defensemen a lot more like manageable, because now we've been doing this league for about 5 years now. With doing it that way, there's a lot more defensemen and forwards evenly ranked. So it's not just like forward dominant and then like, like 5 defensemen that squeak into like the top 30. And in doing it that way, I think it makes it a little more even in every position. So like there's actually a lot more questions in the first round of taking a defenseman or a forward, and I think that makes it a little more fun. Yeah. And everybody that's joined this, that's been in my league, likes it done that way. Everybody has a good time in that league and likes the way the scoring works out. I also have like quarter point for hits, quarter point for shots on goal, quarter point for block. So I got all kinds of stats in there that kind of give you like the overall hockey feel, not just scoring points.
Yeah. Forwards are usually more valued, but if you look at our top 20 players at the end of the year, it's mixed. I mean, there might still be a couple more forwards, but there's actual defensemen in the top 10 and in the top 20, so it's more equal across the board.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Because a lot of standard leagues, if they don't make any kind of changes, it's almost worthless to even have a full lineup of defensemen, because they give you really nothing. They give you less than a point most of the time with the way standard scoring is set up if you don't make any changes to how you want your league to go. So if you're wondering why Jake and I are maybe taking defensemen kind of early, that's just because that's how our league is. So we're still our advice will still work out like to be good advice for most leagues. So like it's not going to be anything crazy out of the
and this
question.
This mock draft still has defenseman ranked in the top 10 here, and
So the first pick just went. It was Connor McDavid. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And then, Andre Vasilevskiy was taken second. I was wondering if that would happen.
oh, what's Austin Matthews' injury?
He's going to start week 1. He just had like a little wrist thing that he got cleaned up.
Okay.
So Andre Vasilevskiy, if you were ever going to take a goalie in the first round, not even in the first round, in the top 5, Vasilevskiy is well worth that pick. He's a phenomenal goalie. So the top 5 was Connor McDavid, Vasilevskiy, Leon Draisaitl, Nikita Kucherov, and Austin Matthews. So now I'm really looking at 2 guys here. I'm looking at Nathan McKinnon or John Carlson. And I know that I can get forwards. I'm actually gonna take John Carlson here at pick number 6 to get that first defenseman off the board.
Okay. I'm hoping Rantanen falls to me. He's not going to with the auto guys here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there goes Mikko Rantanen off the
I feel like I
board.
gotta take Hellebuck here, Hellebuck. Um, just for me, like eventually
Yeah,
people
Connor
start grabbing the top couple goalies, and then you're left with nothing. So last year, I really struggled with goalies.
Connor Hellebuck and Andre Vasilevskiy are 2 of the most consistent goalies. So like he's a very safe pick. And then you have a goalie spot like locked in to be a top 5 spot.
I'm kind of feeling Kane here. I don't know, but over Aho or Uberdu, but
Yeah, so Jake's in this cluster right now
yeah,
where they have Huberdeau, Sebastian Aho, and Patrick Kane, like all right there. And I think with the offseason moves that Chicago did, they're going to be such a good team now. I think Patrick Kane is the clear pick here.
he has got a better supporting cast, and yeah, they'll be able to
Yeah.
see. I got the screen recording too.
So far, this is going kind of. There's been nothing crazy happening so far. It's kind of gone as you would expect the first round to go. So
Jeez.
Jake locking in that goalie spot and getting a Patrick Kane, and then me, I have defenseman. I have John Carlson, so I'm kind of set with my first defense pick. So I'm definitely going to be leaning more toward if Darcy Kemper is available, I'm going to pick him because I think he's going to have a great year in Colorado as the starting
Crosby
goalie.
also had a wrist injury. He'll miss the first few games of the
For
regular season.
right now, I'm kind of looking at Darcy Kemper, Alex DeBrincat, or I was looking at Mika Zibanejad, but he was actually just taken. I was going to lock in a center spot with Mika Zibanejad because I think he's going to go off this year. So I could further shore up my defense with Adam Fox. I think he's going to have a great year.
Yeah, he is.
But I also really like Darcy Kemper. I think he's going to be a top 5 goalie for
You're
sure.
not doing
So I'm actually going to
the
lock.
Brinket.
I'm going to lock in. I'm going to lock in a top 5 goalie. There is a little bit of injury worry with Darcy Kemper, but I think he's well worth a second round pick.
For sure.
I think you can. Now, I think if you were drafting him in the first round, that would be a bit of a reach because there's still question marks on how healthy he'll be and stuff. But
For sure. I queued up for mine. I mean, you're actually the next pick, I think. So just talk about
yeah, I have the
yours.
next pick.
How's your team looking?
Wow, Cale Makar is
You have
way down.
Carlson, Kemper. So you thinking Gunzel?
I don't know if he'll make it to me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking at Panarin, Jacob Chikrin, Kale McCarr right now.
Not Nurse? You don't like Nurse?
I like Nurse, but Kale McCarr. I mean, geez, the guy's a freaking animal. I can't
I don't
believe
even. Oh,
this
there he
this
is.
this
He's down
rankings.
37.
These rankings got to be screwed up. He should not be that far down.
Well, there goes Gunzel. You could get Panarin right here, dude, too.
Yeah,
They're going to have a good year, like you said.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, he was just
there he goes.
so okay. So now with Panarin taken off, I know that I always do this every year. You can get great forwards later in the draft. Forwards are a dime a dozen. What you don't get is top performing D men. So I'm actually going to take Kale McCarr here, and I can't believe he's ranked that low. That's ridiculous.
This is just different rankings, so
Yeah, yeah.
he'd probably be higher in our league.
Well, he's probably going to be kept in our league.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually going to start thinking about forwards. So I'm going to start queuing some forwards up. I'm looking at maybe
I
Brady
feel like
Kachuk.
it just took Crosby. Man, I don't know. I like Yossi a lot. Fuck him. Isn't Grubauer really good?
Yeah, it's just that people are wondering how good he's going to be on Seattle.
Oh, okay, okay. So you said
Just
Brady to Chuck?
because, yeah, I like Brady Kachuk.
Yeah, I don't even have a forward yet, so who should be my top forward here? Do you
Ooh,
like?
okay. So where you're at, I think Mitchell Marner.
Okay.
He's he plays on the line. He plays on the first line with Austin Matthews, and they're a real
Oh, I
dynamic
was on your
duo.
team, Gardner, not mine. So I have Kane and Marner. Oops. I was looking at yours.
Oh,
All right, I'm still happy with that. I got my number one defenseman Yossi, who usually I draft him most years. I just didn't get him last year.
I
Now he'll
have
be capped.
two. I have a potential two top five defensemen in John Carlson and Kale McCarr. So I'm kind of feeling great about that. Now and I have a top goalie in Darcy Kemper, who I think is gonna have a great year. Now I'm definitely gonna start looking at forwards here.
You said that last
So
time. Well, now you're up.
yeah, but that's before I saw Kale McCarr.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
So I think it's a no brainer here. I'm gonna go with Brady Kachuk.
Okay.
I think he's gonna have a breakout season.
They've yet to come to terms on a new deal. Hmm. They'll figure it out. Figure it out. All right. Well, I really don't like. Well, all these. This Jack Campbell's gonna be taken. I'm kind of. Well, you're up next. Who are you looking at, Zach?
I was looking at Kyle Connor and Nick Suzuki. They both just got taken. Now I'm looking at Mark Stone, but he's probably going to be the next one taken.
Oh, there's only one pick left before you. Mark Stone.
And then I'm kind of yikes on all these forwards if Mark Stone gets taken. Wow. Okay, he's going to fall to me. I feel great about taking Mark Stone in the 5th round. He's a very talented player.
So why
So
is he ranked down
I'm
at
gonna take another.
53? Just for the fans.
I honestly don't know these rankings on the. I think this is for a standard league. so these rankings are a little different than how ours would
Okay.
be. I don't kind of agree with them, but how I'm fine taking him in the fifth round.
Is it time? Is it Igor Shesterkin time? Is he going to be the starter?
Yeah, he'll be the starter,
I know they were
and
splitting, right?
I'm
Last year?
no, not so much. It was more like a 60-40 split.
60-40. Okay.
Shusterkin's. Yeah, you just worry about injuries with him, but he's going to be the
I have
starter
two
if
forwards, one
healthy.
defenseman, one goalie. But I like. I'm going to go Igor, save myself some time. So I have my two goalies. Drew Doughty's old now, right? I mean, I don't like his ranking up here. I like Seth Jones.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
and
you do,
I
huh?
only have one defenseman, so I'm going Seth. He'll have a
That's
bounce
a
back
great
year.
pick. Oh, he's one of my higher ranked guys for this season, being on Chicago, leading that power play. That's a great pick.
Thanks, dude.
Rasmus Risto went.
Yeah,
Looking
my
at
only
him.
questionable is Shesterkin, but
I'm
I
really
think
high.
the Rangers are going to the playoffs this year.
I'm really high on Thomas Chabot this season
Why is that?
because I think he's going to have that breakout season where he puts himself into that top five defenseman.
Okay, okay.
But
Yeah, it says high end fantasy option while logging workhorse minutes.
yeah, he gives you great
What's wrong with Theodore in this
minutes in him.
injury list? He won't play. It says undisclosed. Won't play in Friday night's preseason, so he's probably fine.
But I'm gonna go with another forward who I think could have another even more breakout. He continues to get better every year because I'm kind of looking at Matthew Bartzel, Taylor Hall, Vincent Trocheck right now,
Okay.
and
Ooh,
I'm really
Trocheck had a
feeling
good ass year last year.
Matthew Bartzel this year.
And why do you like him?
I just because he's the main guy on the Islanders, and he's like their captain. He's a very well rounded player, and I think he has a very high ceiling that he hasn't quite reached yet, and I think
Okay.
he
And
could
how old is
this
he?
season.
Oh, you're up
He's young.
again.
I might
Well,
around
Burns is kind of
25.
low. Is that a good take here? Or Barry?
No, I think here I would take Tyson
Okay.
Berry.
Yeah, yeah. He'd probably do as good as him. I didn't
So I'm
realize
locking
how
in
well he
three good
finished.
defensemen here. Yeah, yeah. He had a great finish to the season last
Mm-hmm.
year. Berry, I think he still finished in the top 10 in our league.
Jeez. Oh, so this guy was the guy out all last year, right? Gabriel Pagot. You, gosh, I'm horrible with these names.
I think he played. I thought he played.
Okay, so who's the player that was held out in New York? We'll get back to that. But he was like
I'm not
held
sure.
out. The coach was mad at him or something, and Robbie had to drop him.
Oh yeah, Tony
Yeah,
DeAngelo,
okay. So I was mixing up the guys here.
and he's gonna be the main defenseman now on
All
Carolina,
right, bro. I'm a little
who I'm
stuck
kind of.
here. I feel like I should take Bo Horvat, but
Okay, so this is where we're getting into one of my top sleepers of this season in Zach Hyman.
I took I took Johnny Hockey just to save my time. But I'll. So you like Hyman? He's the number one guy left for me.
I like Hyman a lot. He's a bit of a. I'm kind of thinking that he's going to have a top year because he's going to play on the line with Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid.
Okay.
So he's a pretty popular pick for a big breakout season. All right, now I'm kind of lining up and looking that I might be able to get my second goalie. I'm looking at maybe drafting Frederick Anderson.
Are they gonna be?
So I'm on the clock.
They're gonna be on the back foot a lot. Like, are they gonna be playing a lot more defense than offense? Or
Well, I just think that he's going to do good on Carolina. They have a very good team,
you don't? I thought you liked Kreider. You
and
don't like Kreider?
not really.
Okay.
I like Frederick Anderson a lot this season being on Carolina. I think he's going to do great. I think a change of scenery is going to be good for him. So I'm going to go with Frederick Anderson here and shore up my
Yo,
goalie spots.
here's the question for you: is Evander Kane playing this year?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm kind of staying away from him. I wouldn't touch him this year.
Okay.
Okay. So just looking over this right now, I'm looking at uh, Evgeny Malkin, Jason Robertson, and Steven Stamkos. And it might just be name value. Maybe he's not as great as he used to be, but I think I got to take Steven Stamkos here. Shore up my forwards a little more.
For sure.
I
Yeah,
honestly feel like
and a
round
lot of
nine
these
is a little
people,
late for Stamkos.
left that were in our draft, went to auto, but
Yeah.
we'll still go through. Is this a comeback year for Patrick
Patrick Laine.
Laine, jeez.
Oh yeah. I'm all over the Patrick Laine bandwagon
I feel
this
like he
year
really fell.
because
I mean,
he did, but he was on a team that was with a coach
yeah,
that runs this defensive scheme that he just didn't
I just
fit
meant
in.
the rankings. I meant the
Oh yeah, these rankings are a little strange, but you just got to roll with how the draft room's going.
yeah. So let me go to my team. I'm on your team right now in the recording. I only have two defensemen, so I'm thinking McAvoy, but I like
Charlie
Uyghur too.
McAvoy.
I mean, he helped win the championship for me, and he
Yeah,
gets.
I think McAvoy's gonna have a bounce back year because he kind of had a down year last
Mm-hmm.
year. And if McAvoy has a bounce back year, he'd give you way more than still Uyghur. So
Yeah, is Uyghur kind of going to be up and coming, or just like a fluke year?
I think so. He kind of came out of nowhere, so that's
Okay.
why I think he's good ranked here in the getting him in the 10th round.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a good pick, but some people are thinking about taking him earlier than that.
yeah. He'll,
Oh, and then Martin Nietzsche was just taken. Um, he's one of my big sleeper guys for this season too because he had a kind of a breakout year last year, and I think he's going to take that even further this year.
okay. So does Jordan Bennington just not have it anymore?
Jordan
Like, why is he
Binnington.
down here next to Blackwood? Thought he was supposed to be. I mean, he was drafted as a top goalie before.
Yeah, he just ever since they won the Stanley Cup, he's kind of hasn't been that top goalie.
So is he?
He's been good. He's finished well, but he's
Mm,
just hasn't been that superstar that people thought he would be.
yeah.
So right here, I'm going to further
So
shore up my
okay.
defense, and I'm going to take Morgan Reilly. I really like Morgan Reilly. I've had him on my team like the last 3 seasons, and he's always been very good.
So could Bennington have a bounce back year? Could that be like a sleeper goalie?
I think he definitely is in that sleeper
Okay.
category, and you can get him kind of late. It's looking like
Yeah, I mean he's next to Blackwood and
he could be
Thatcher
like your third
Demko. I mean,
starter. Yeah, he could be like a third starter, and you could have three starters on as
I
goalies.
was gonna grab one of them, but they all went auto here. But no,
Now, a guy coming up that you might want to take, Jake, for defense, John Klingberg.
yeah, I remember you had him last year, and he was okay.
I've had him. I've had him for the last 3 seasons. I like John Klingberg a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's you can always get him late, and he always gives you great
Oh, but
numbers.
you know who's down here?
Who's down here, Jake? Oh, I didn't see him down
Link.
there. Yeah, Neil Pionk.
All right. I mean,
Yeah.
so he will be
Yeah.
a lot higher in our draft for people valuing defense.
Yeah.
He was way down there. But I'll probably take Klingberg too, just to screw over Zach here in this mock draft.
All right, so looking at this group of forwards here, I'm kind of down on Joel Eriksson Ek this season. He might be finish very well again, but he kind of came out of nowhere last year, and I'm normally I normally stay away from guys that had their first breakout season. I stay away from drafting them the next season because a lot of the times they don't give you the same output. So I'm gonna stay away from him. I'm not super high on Hischier and Brock Nelson, so I think out of this group of forwards that I'm looking at, I really like Dominic Kubalik on Chicago. I think he's going to continue growing as a player this season.
Okay, there goes Eck in the auto. You're up next again.
Brock Besser. I was looking at Brock Besser. I like Brock Besser a lot. He just went. Okay, so right now I'm kind of almost getting to that point of the draft where it's kind of like, I don't like a lot of these guys, and you find yourself scrolling down a little bit. But out of this grouping right here, another sleeper that I have for this season is Zach Werenski on Columbus. Because Seth Jones is gone now, Zach Werenski, that's similar to how Seth Jones is going to be the guy in Chicago. Zach Werenski is now the guy in Columbus. There's not another defenseman that's going to overtake him for minutes or power play or anything. Mm-hmm. And they have a new coach and a new offensive system. So Zach Werenski, he's a great sleeper for this season.
All right. Yeah, these rankings are, dude, look who's down here.
Yeah, whoa.
That's dude, what I'm saying.
In the 14th, 13th round. Wow.
So this is definitely standard points.
Yeah, this is definitely standard points leagues. So
it's like in our draft.
If this is where guys are going, you can get in our draft. Hughes is going to be he's going to probably be a second or third round pick.
Yeah, so I maxed out on defenseman, so I'll probably leave Sergachev for Zach. I mean, does Hoffman? Does Hoffman still have it, bro? Or is he
Hoffman? I mean,
veteran winger.
Because if he bounces back and is healthy and stuff, he definitely will outperform 14th round.
Why is Sean Monahan so low here?
I think it has something to do with just how butt cheeks the Calgary team was last season.
Okay.
So I think a lot of those normal top good players on Calgary are going to be lower picks this season, just because people are kind of upset with how they did last year.
Yeah, so are those kind of steals or what?
Yeah, they could be. So I'm definitely looking at Sean Monahan here.
Okay.
And Mikhail Sergachev are kind of the two guys that I'm looking at. Although I do have Joel Farabee listed as a nice breakout candidate on Philly, but I wouldn't take him over Sergachev or Monahan.
Is Dadonov going to have a bounce back after that bad season?
I'm going to go ahead and take Sean Monahan because I think he's going to have a bounce back season.
Okay.
What was your question, Jake?
I was saying, is Dadonov going to have a bounce back year after that bad year?
I'm kind of out on Dadonov.
I don't get some of these players down here, man. Oh, they're down here. Yes. Like Pierre-Luc Dubois, right? Why is Dubois? Jeez, I suck at this. I seriously cannot say anybody's name in hockey.
Yeah, my gosh, this is definitely that yikes part of the draft where guys you draft here are most likely going to be like not on your team later in the season. Although I am pretty high on William Nylander. I think he's the best player out of this whole group that I'm looking at.
I thought you liked Pierre.
Pierre-Luc Dubois? Yeah, I do like him, but I'm thinking I might be able to get him at my next pick. So I'm actually going to go
Why
Nylander.
Is he so low, though? I'm going to take him. But why is he so low?
Oh, wait. That was my second pick of my two picks. Never mind. I'm not going to be able to get him.
So, is it because he had a down year?
It's because he was bad last year and he wasn't healthy and stuff. So that you can always get guys like that way later than normal. So this is the year to get Pierre-Luc Dubois way late, and he'll definitely outperform that.
I
Like
mean,
whereas last year he was like a second or third round pick, and he way
yeah,
underperformed that. This year, being like a 15th round pick or 16th round pick, he will way overperform that draft spot. So this is a year
is
to get
Hervé
him for
Doc
sure.
gonna have a good year?
I think so, man. He's going to be fully healthy. I'm pretty big on
I
Kirby
feel like
Doc
he's
this
pretty low
season.
too.
He's, well, I don't know. This is about where I would put him just because he hasn't really
Or
done
should I
much in
grab
the league so
Samsonov
far.
as my backup goalie?
I like Samsonov this season, but it just depends on how you're feeling
I
about
mean,
all
I
your
need
other positions.
forwards. I
If you
need to
can,
finish my starters. So
this forward group, I'm kind of,
I'm just gonna take Doc for the mock. I don't know if I'd actually take him, but
mm-hmm.
I'll take him for
Ooh,
now.
Sam Bennett, pretty low.
What? So did Philippe Forsberg also have a bad year?
No, he just kind of he had a great start to the year, just kind of finished slow.
Is he? How old is he now? Do we know?
But I'm a big fan of Philip
Yeah,
Forsberg, and I
I
think
don't get why he's down here.
he's a
Oh,
great pick. He's a great pick down here in the 16th round.
you just grabbed him. What about Anthony Cirelli?
I like him a lot.
Yeah,
He's one of those. He reminds me of a young Patrick Sharp,
yeah. So why
where
is
he just kind
he?
of does everything. He's a little bit of a sniper, a bit of a defensive guy.
Okay.
He brings you a lot that you'd like.
Yeah, you can get him right here.
Yeah, I think he's a great pick here.
Oh,
Although I also like Sam Bennett on Florida. He's that type of player that Joel Quenneville loves, where he just does all the dirty work.
gotcha.
Man, that's it's and Dylan Larkin too has all the talent in the world, just on a very crappy team. I think I'm gonna still go with Anthony Cirelli here, so I'm
All
gonna
right.
pick Anthony Cirelli. Kind of locking up my forwards.
Yeah, I need one more forward, and then
I'm gonna try and go for a backup goalie here now.
man. I mean, I like.
But that is a strategy if you're not gonna go for one of the top goalies. There's always the strategy of drafting goalies really late, and they'll
Yeah, I
still
mean, I had
usually be pretty
four
good performing.
just kind of mediocre, and I was able to win, but my other positions had to really carry. Like if I had had weaker forwards at all, I wouldn't have survived with those goalies. It was pretty bad. I don't
Yeah,
want to go through that again. So
right.
I definitely want to have my number one guy. I don't know who to take here. I mean, I like Kempe, but I might just take him. Or is it just Kemp? Who are you taking next?
I'm looking at goalies right now.
You don't like Alex Nedorovich?
So, out of this whole group, I really am a big fan of Peter Mrazek this season because everybody is saying that he's going to split time with Jack Campbell, but I don't believe for one second that Jack Campbell is going to redo this season what he did last year. And Mrazek's a very talented goalie,
Okay.
and if he's doing a 60-40 split and getting him in pick 200 something, Mrazek will give you great value. So I'm going to take him, and I'll feel very comfortable with it.
Okay. Nice. Who you got next? Connor Brown? Uh, oh, he's available.
Ooh, Connor Brown. No. That's a no from me, dog.
Anthony Uvillier?
I kind of like Dustin Brown here,
Austin Brown, the other Brown.
He's he always gives you
No information on him, so give
like
us some information.
he's been on LA forever. He won the two cups with them. He's been their captain. He no one ever brings his name up, but he always is a guy that like never gets dropped. He's always picked late, and he's always finishes as like a top 15 center. It's crazy how he's never higher on the draft boards. He's just a very solid, consistent guy. You know what you're getting with him. You're not getting like best player in the league type stuff. You're not getting terrible. You're getting kind of just right in that range where he's like you're happy having him on your team.
For sure.
And I'm always very surprised where he's ranked every year.
Yeah, definitely. And
And you're in these rounds, if you can get consistency, that's a pretty dang big thing because that's usually a lot of the reason that these guys are down here this far is because they're not that
I see a
consistent.
steal.
Tony D'Angelo,
No, Ryan Graves and
Ryan
Jack
Graves,
Hughes.
Jack Hughes. I would agree more. Ryan Graves. There's still some
Oh,
question
Zach,
marks
you
on
can
how
get
much ice
Carlson
time.
down here. Are you kidding me? Oh, and there's Tony D'Angelo. So is he a
Yeah,
steal this year?
yeah, I have him listed as a steal for this season.
I mean, he's got to be. I mean, 243, right?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
So I'm gonna take him and shore up some more
They say
defense.
they're not. He's not on the top line. Is that the problem?
No, he's on the top line. This is just this league obviously isn't set up for defensive points like ours is.
So in our league, he might be ranked like 100 people higher.
He'd probably be in like the 70s, 80s in our league.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, so I'm just looking over my team now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll scroll through your team after you take this pick.
So down this low at like the very last picks, I'm looking for guys that can like way out overperform. And I really was happy last year with Alexander Radulov. He was dealing with some injuries, but when he played, he was always on the score sheet.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm gonna go and hope that he has a healthy season, and he can average like 3.5 or more. And getting him in like my second to last pick, I'd be super happy with
What do you
that.
think about Anthony Duclair this year?
I think that's you're just looking for upside at this
I feel
point,
like he
and
he
he
still
has
has it, right?
he has a lot of that.
What about
Yeah,
Brendan Dillon?
I'm not super familiar with him.
It was just a young up and comer, but I'm a little stuck here. I mean, I like Calvin Peterson, but he's not full fledged right starter. So TJ Brody's down here. He was always on the waivers in our league. He was always available.
Yeah,
I don't know. I had Blake Coleman last year, and I ended up just dropping him. I'm just gonna take the top guy off the board. I don't know much about him. I don't know this deep.
yikes. Well, I'm just kidding, Jake. At this point, you just kind of
I'm
take.
looking at your team. So my team's
All right,
done.
so
Your pick.
I'm hoping on a breakout, a big breakout from Alexis Lafreniere on the Rangers.
Okay.
He was kind of an underperforming rookie last year. A lot of people were expecting big things from him because he was like the first. Was he the first or? I think he was the first overall pick last year, and he kind of started very slow. But I'm gonna go that he's on like the super team of offensive players, and he's gonna have a breakout this year. So I'm gonna take him with my last pick and not look back.
Nice. So yeah, I couldn't show everybody that pick because I finished my team before you, so it closed the players. But
Yeah.
I mean, they heard it. They can look it up. Here's my team, everybody. I scrolled through Zach's team just before this. You just don't have the pictures.
How do you leave the draft, Jake?
Oh, you just exit out of this and you can go to your team. Just click the hockey symbol in the top left. But yeah, good draft, and I guess you can't click it. They used to have a button, but I'll just go ESPN Fantasy. All right, man. So, do you have anything else you want to say to everybody before we close out here?
No, I just hope that that was helpful to kind of see where guys were kind of ranked and stuff. So
Yeah, you all got to see our picks for this draft, just kind of at those positions. We were at 6 and 12, and we kind of gave a teaser of our sleepers for next episode of hockey. So you'll get more of that next time. All right. So thanks, everyone.
yeah,
Put
thanks
any
everybody.
questions or discussion points in the comment section.
You know, as they say in hockey, let's do that
Yep,
hockey.
that's what they say.
Take
All
care,
right.
everybody.
See ya.